Welcome to the November 2014 edition of Alexander County Now. In this month's episode, we'll learn more about the Alexander County Christmas Parade. We'll have an in-depth interview with Allen Hines, former US Marshal, who has an amazing story to tell. The business spotlight is on Holland Family Chiropractic, and November is filled with special events and activities. All this and more on this episode of Alexander County Now. It's hard to believe that Christmas is just around the corner. This time of year, Alexander County folks begin to look forward to one of our most popular events, the annual Christmas Parade. This year's parade is set for December 6th, so let's learn more about it from Lenny Rogers, Dwaine Coley, Roger Brown, and Lisa McLain, who all work together to make this event such a success.
The 68th annual Alexander County Christmas Parade will be held on Saturday, December the 6th at 3 p.m. on the main streets of Taylorsville, and we look for everyone to be here.
The parade is so popular because it is one of the largest Christmas parades in our area. It is a beautiful parade, and people love it. The people who are watching it, the people who are in it, everybody has a great time at this parade.
We're currently accepting entries into the parade for this year. They can be done by going to the website, which is alexandercountync.gov/parade, and get all the forms, fill them out, take them by the extension office, and we'll get your information and get you rolling. There are a number of forms you need to fill out. You need to be sure to fill out an entry form, a broadcast information form, and if you're purchasing a float, you need to make a selection of which float you prefer to have with your business name on it. There are a number of ways you can enter the parade. If you're an elected official, there's an entry fee of $20. If you represent a children's group, that would be a recreation ball team, a cheerleading group, scout troop, those kinds of entries are $30. Then we also have some other entries that are $60. Those are civic clubs, civic organizations, adult nonprofit organizations, car clubs, those kinds of groups are $60. And commercial entries are $125. Floats are $400, or you can share a float for $300. We also have some individual vehicles if you want to just put something in. I believe the entry fee for those are just $20 too. But we'd love to have you participate, and the more participation we have, the better we're able to serve you through all kinds of activities. We do provide a little cash supplement for our bands who participate, and we're hoping to get a couple extra bands this year because we're hoping our entries will be up and our entry fees will pay for that. We have a number of deadlines. The low bottom price deadline is coming up November the 5th at 5 p.m. The next deadline will be about 2 weeks before the parade, and the final deadline will be the day before the parade. With each of those deadlines comes an additional fee, a late fee or a surcharge that we'll be having to apply to process your application as it gets closer and closer to December the 6th, the day of the parade.
The parade route this year is going to be the same as last year, basically. We will begin coming out of county administration, build lots, the high school, Board of Education, funneling down Lyle Down Road. It will proceed to Main Street, take a right on Main Street, come all the way down to the old hotel, B86, and turn right on Main Avenue Drive. And then we'll continue down to 16, take a little short jag to the left on 16, and then back to the right on First Avenue Southwest, and return basically to Taylorsville Elementary School. Perfect. We mentioned that the parade is the 68th annual Christmas parade, and it started actually back in 1947. As far as records, as far as what we have researched. In 1949, actually, was the first parade that had Christmas queens, and there was a queen from Taylorsville High School, Stony Point High School, and Hiddenite High School. So that was the first year that they crowned Christmas queens. Some of those early parades, they had decorated bicycles, horse and wagon, just a few things like that. So a little different than the parades are of this today.
Be sure and tune in at 3 o'clock at the Christmas parade. You can hear us on the internet. You can hear us on your smartphone or just on the radio. Just go to www.860wacb.com And when you come to the little red apple, click here and follow the icons.
The Christmas parade this year will be Saturday, December the 6th at 3 o'clock, and I hope it'll be a beautiful day.
Merry Christmas!
Thanks to all of you. We appreciate your hard work. This year's parade is sure to attract a large crowd to downtown Taylorsville, so folks, be sure to mark your calendars for Saturday, December 6th. And don't forget to invite your friends and family to the Alexander County Christmas Parade.
Hi, my name is Roxanne Kerley, and today I would like to talk to you about home health care. What is home health care? Home health care is a wide range of health care services that can be given in your home for an illness or injury. Home health care helps you get better, regain your independence, and become as self-sufficient as possible. We provide a variety of clinical services and related products and supplies. Our team consists of caregivers such as skilled nurses, physical and speech therapists, medical social worker, as well as home health aides. Why Alexander County Home Health? Well, we are committed to providing high-quality, multidisciplinary care. We've provided compassionate, experienced care and support for patients in their homes for more than 40 years. By using your county agency, you are keeping those health care dollars that are spent on home health in the county. The revenue that Alexander County Home Health generates helps fund services greatly needed for residents of Alexander County and helps to keep your taxes lowered. Who can get home health care? You must be under the care of a doctor, you must be in need of a skilled care and/or health education, and must be essentially homebound. What does essentially homebound mean? Essentially, your condition should be such that there exists a normal inability to leave home, and doing so would require considerable and taxing effort. Generally speaking, you would be considered homebound if you have a condition due to an illness or injury that restricts your ability to leave home without the aid of an assistive device such as crutches, canes, or walker or wheelchairs, without the assistance of another person, or if leaving the home is medically inadvisable. You can leave the home as often as you need for medical treatment that cannot be provided in the home. Further, you are allowed brief and infrequent absences from the home for some non-medical reasons such as an occasional trip to the barber or beauty shop, to attend church, or to a unique family event such as a graduation. Who pays for home health care services, and will it cost you anything? If you meet certain eligibility requirements, Medicare may pay for your covered home health care for as long as you are eligible and your doctor certifies that you need it. Your cost in original Medicare is nothing for home health care services. This service is provided for free. This includes the majority of the supplies that are used during your care, such as wound supplies, syringes, lab supplies. If you are currently using a Medicare replacement plan, such as Humana, Avantra, or United Healthcare, your cost will be dependent on your policy terms. Additionally, our state's Medicaid program, workers' compensation, private or group health insurance, HMOs, and veteran and military benefits also may cover home health care. What are some examples of what home health care can do or provide for me or my loved one? Examples of a skilled home health service include wound care for pressure sores or surgical wound, patient and caregiver education, intravenous or nutrition therapy, injections, monitoring serious illness and unstable health status. We also have a team of home health therapists that can help evaluate the safety of your home and work directly with you to create personalized home rehabilitation programs. Our physical therapists can work with you on strengthening and mobility issues. We offer physical therapy and speech therapy services. Many health care treatments that were once offered only in a hospital or a doctor's office can now be done in your home. Depending on your pay source, we may also be able to come out to administer injections, fill medication planners, and draw lab work. We can supply ostomy, urinary catheter, and incontinence supplies for patients with Medicaid. Our trained staff of registered nurses, physical and speech therapists, medical social workers, and home health aides work with patients to bring them to an optimal level of independence. Please do not hesitate to call us with any questions you may have. You can reach us at 828-632-9704, extension 424.
In our People segment this month, it is our honor to speak with former U.S. Marshal Allen Hines. Mr. Hines grew up here in Alexander County, but during his years in the U.S. Marshal Service, he played an important role in racial integration in schools at the University of Mississippi back in 1962. Learn all about this fascinating story and the other interesting experiences that Mr. Hines has to tell.
My name is Allen Hines. I was born and raised in Hiddenite, went to school in Hiddenite and graduated from high school there. And then I entered college. I had no idea what I wanted to be, but I went 2 years there, and then I got a letter from the Army. It said, "Greetings, your presence is required." So I was in the Army for 2 years, and went in with Bucky Campbell and Rayford Thomas and several of my classmates. We all finished our basic training in the Army, and then we went with different branches. And I happened to be with in the military police school, and several of the others did other things in the Army. Some of them went with Signal Corps, but I enjoyed what I did in military police. It was good for me, and I thought, well, this may be a good omen for me to get in the Marshal Service. So I had several people write letters for me, my principal in Hiddenite School, Mr. Stockman, and I had a good friend here in Taylorsville, Ray Jennings, that wrote a letter for me. And he knew my parents real well and my grandparents. Then after I applied for the Marshal Service, I just had to wait till it came up for it to get back in school. And I went back to college, and then I got a letter that I'd been accepted. And I was sworn in Wilkes County, North Carolina. That's in the Middle District, as in Greensboro. So after I went to work in Greensboro, it was 3 or 4 years. It was just routine work. And then it seemed like in the picture was the civil rights. That was everything that in papers and newspapers. And one other man heard about this and desired to be a part of it. His name was James Meredith. He just got out of the Air Force, and when he did, he enrolled in college at Jackson State, Mississippi, which was a black school. And he was there for 2 years. And when he finished these 2 years, he applied for University of Mississippi at Ole Miss. And Ross Barnett was the governor of Mississippi, and he had sworn that there would never be a black person enter the school at the University of Mississippi. So when he finished, he applied, made the application to go to school in Oxford. And when he tried at least 4 or 5 times to enroll, and every time he was turned down by the governor. The governor went, whenever it was time for enrollment, admission, he was always at the college to be admitted. And one time he went to Oxford, and there were 5 white marshals with him. And Ross Barnett went to the door for the registrar's office, and he sort of had a snicker and grin on his face, and he said, "Which one is Meredith?" So he was turned down again. So later he got his people to work on it, the people that got him in. Of course, we had a court order from a federal district court that said he was entitled to go to school there. And he kept working on it, and we got word in Greensboro that he was going to be enrolled, and he needed more marshals there. So another marshal and I went down one time, and they said we had too many marshals when we got there, so they sent us home. And then about a week later, I was out working, and Meredith was on the air. He said he could have enrolled if he had more marshals there to help him. So we went back. Another marshal and I from Greensboro went to Millington, Tennessee. It was an Air Force base there, and we got our instructions, told what we were supposed to do, and we had didn't have uniforms on, but we did have steel helmets and tear gas weapons, a 1.5 gas gun, and that's how we were dressed. We got to Mississippi on a plane. When we first got there, they put us on an Army truck, and we were taken to the campus. We lined up all around the campus, the Lyceum building. That's the place where you register. All the students go there to register. After we got there and were lined up, they took my squad, about 10 men, and to the back of the campus, and Meredith was flown in, and with marshals, and we put him in his room, and he stayed there, of course, overnight, and then we went back to out in front around the Lyceum building, and we were shoulder to shoulder all around the building. The crowd started building up, and a lot of noise, cursing. One lady walked up in front of me and said, "What in the world are you doing here? Y'all go back up north. We don't need you down here." And she just cursed. She had a little baby with her, a child, and I've never heard such language before in my life that lady dished out. And it was like that for a while. The crowd kept building up, and it became intense, and they were building some buildings down in front of had some construction work in front of the campus, and they had a great big brick pile, and they broke up all the brick and cinder blocks and started throwing them. They had a big sign up in front of there that says, "Get your ammunition here." So we were in the daylight, in the light, because when it got dark, we couldn't see very much out in front of us, but they were close to us. And it just went on, and nothing we could do but just stand there and take it. And after all the throwing and the bricks, we stood there, and the fighting went on. And it was fighting. They would run up against us and try to knock us down, and it got pretty intense. Finally, they had guns out there, shotguns, you could tell, and rifles and handguns. They started shooting, and of course it was dark then, and when Martha and I went back 50 years later, they gave us a reception, and you could still see the prints in the columns, and that was pretty significant. And the fighting went on, and it got so intense that we asked for permission to use tear gas. So we did, and that kept them in bay because we had on gas masks, but they, of course, none of them did. And when it went on, and we held our positions, and then they started shooting, and we could hear them out there in front of us. One of the marshals got hit in the neck and almost bled to death. There were 2 people who got killed on campus. One was a reporter, and one was a bystander there at Oxford. But we still held our positions, and we asked for permission. We had a direct line into Robert Kennedy, who was Attorney General, and President Kennedy was with him. And he said, no, said, don't use your weapons, just hold off. Said the Army will be there about 2 o'clock in the morning. So we did, and of course the fighting kept on, and it was intense, but we still held our positions. After the Army got there, they gave us a lot of help. Originally, now there was about 170 marshals, they're federal marshals, and we had some Bureau of Prisons guards and highway border patrol guards. Of course, they were federal agents, but they had to be sworn in as deputy marshals so they could make an arrest. So we had a lot of people there, but it seemed like there wasn't half enough when all these people converted on us and used all the necessary things they had to intimidate us and keep Meredith from enrolling in that college. And they kept talking about people up north and send you back up there and everything. And of course, a lot of us were from the South. And but this is what their contentions was. They didn't want any help from anybody to get Meredith in college. Soon after that, we got Meredith enrolled. It was about, we'd been out there all night, and we got Meredith, another part of the Marshal Service, got him in and registered him, and then took him back to his dormitory. Well, then after that, he had to go to classes and get his books, just like any normal college student would. And of course, we stayed with him all the time. He was never out of our sight. And he was content with this because he knew that he had to have protection to get through this thing because it was bloody, and he knew it. And so after he got his books and everything and got his classes, we took him everywhere he went. He was never out of our sight the whole time. And he had adhered to this. He knew that he had to have protection. So there were times when he would be in his room studying, and they had a group of people on a room over his office, over his room in college, started bouncing basketball, about 10 or 12 of them, and they did that for every 15 minutes, and then another group would come in. Anything to distract him and keep him from college, and thought he would drop out, but he didn't. He was very intense. He was a person that he wanted to be the first, and he had every right to do this because he had a court order. So it went on the whole time he was there. We'd take him places, and everywhere we'd take him, we were with him. And he visited his wife down in southern part of Mississippi. We had to take him down there. And of course, it wasn't as intense there because he was on grounds that, were familiar to him and everything, and the people were familiar. So I'd like to say that all of this is recorded by a man that I didn't even know was there, was Bob Schieffer. And I'm sure you've all seen him on TV and as an announcer. And he says that the book was what I couldn't tell you on TV. And of course, I didn't know this till I got back home and my personal physician, Russell Falkenberry, told me about this book. And so I bought it, and it was real interesting because he went through the same things that we did. He got knocked down. He had a big recording machine with him and with another man that helped him in his work. And he said that he was more scared there than he was in Vietnam when he was over there reporting. Two of the marshals said, one of the marshals was in Pearl Harbor, and when the Japanese attacked, he said he was more scared in Mississippi than he was down there in the war. Another marshal quoted as saying that he was in the Navy and in the war, and his ship got torpedoed and sunk, and he was in the water for about an hour, shark-infested water. And he said that he was more afraid in Alabama, Mississippi, than he was down in the war. So they gave us several letters. The president wrote a long letter to us and signed it, and the Attorney General, Robert Kennedy, sent us a letter when we got through, and said we held our own, and it was been dreadful if something would have happened to Meredith. And he was pleased, and I thought that was real nice. And of all things I did when I was in military police or when I was in Marshal, this was to me one of the finest things I did, and I didn't realize that it would be that historic until afterwards. Then the next state we were in was Alabama right after this, when George Wallace was there, and two students tried to enroll. Vivian Malone and James Hood, and this was in all papers too. And we got to the school with the two students, and Wallace stood in the doorway, and he too said that while he was governor, there would never be a black person enter the university at Alabama. So he stood up in front of us and made a speech, and then he still wouldn't admit them. So they federalized the National Guard, which was mostly Alabama people. And then he stood aside and let us in. Then he told them the students were led into the registration office, and they signed in ready for college. They were there, and we didn't have the trouble in Alabama as we did in Mississippi now. But there was, after the two graduated, several years, Wallace invited Vivian Malone to come back and receive an award for being the first and in University of Alabama, and it was an award for bravery, and it was named after his wife, Ms. I can't think of her name now. Anyway, and she went there, and he apologized to her. He said he should never have done this. He said he was acting on behalf of Alabama people, and he apologized to her and thanked her for her what she did. It was brave of her, and after that, then that was the two most important things I did. And then I had other duties. I went back and courts with judges, security for judges. I was one in Puerto Rico for sequestered for guarding a judge down there for 3 weeks. And everywhere he went, we went with him, and we didn't take him to the beach. He said, "Now, don't dress up. Just wear your normal swim trunks, a towel, and wrap your gun in a towel so that nobody will detect that." I was in a Hell's Angel trial out in California, and that was Sonny Barger was the leader of that gang, and but we didn't have any trouble out there. I was in a lot of places giving protective custody to people, and so that nobody could find out their identities. And one man was in protective custody, and he wanted to give it up. So he went to California. And he wasn't there very long till the mob found out about it and killed him. So when you're people in protective custody, you've got to adhere to the rules and do what we tell them to do. And then we transported prisoners at just everyday routine and by bus and plane. And I even arrested a man in Greensboro, and we had to take him to Guam to. He could have been tried in Greensboro, but he didn't want to plea, so he wanted to go back to Guam. So we took him to Guam. That was quite a trip. And we collected government debts, and we served warrants and transported prisoners by car and bus. And it was a very rewarding career for me, I thought. But the two main things that stick in my mind, and I never thought there would be history, none of us did, until after it was all over and all the writings about it. So it was a very interesting career for me. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And Martha went back with me. They gave us a 50-year remembrance, and we went back to Mississippi. And they were so courteous to us and treated us royally. And we wore armbands, yellow armbands on a dark suit. And the students would walk up to you and tell us how much they appreciated what we did down there in Mississippi. And we had a panel of marshals, and they got to ask them questions, and it told us how much difference it was after Meredith enrolled. And after he left, I've read that it's the black race has gone up 300% of students there in Oxford, Mississippi. So you can see he was a pioneer. He was determined to do this, and it was his calling to do this, and he was so appreciative to us, and I'm glad he made it. And the president told us that it would have been chaotic if we would have let him get hurt in any way. And of course, the marshals, it was just our job. Some of us got hurt, but it was a very rewarding career for me. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I appreciate this time to do this and let the people know what we went through in these two colleges.
Allen, thank you so much for your service to our country and for allowing us to record a piece of living history. You are truly a remarkable person and a friend and inspiration to many. We are proud that you call Alexander County home.
Hi, I'm Emily Vick, registered nurse with the Alexander County Health Department. Flu vaccines are now available at the Alexander County Health Department for people 6 months of age and older. In addition to traditional flu shots, we also offer Flu Mist nasal spray. These vaccines are given on Tuesday and Wednesday afternoons from 1 p.m. till 5 p.m. and Friday mornings from 8:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. No appointment is necessary. We accept Cigna, Coventry, and Blue Cross Blue Shield private insurance along with Medicare, Medicaid, North Carolina Health Choice, or a $35 self-payment. The CDC recommends that all people 6 months of age and older should get a flu vaccine. Vaccination is especially important for people at higher risk of severe influenza and their close contacts, including healthcare personnel and close contacts of children younger than 6 months. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us at 828-632-9704 or visit our website at alexanderhealth.org.
I'm Gary Herman with the Alexander County Economic Development Corporation. We're working on our Buy Local campaign to encourage our citizens and our visitors to support our local businesses and our local economy. This is the Alexander County Business Spotlight. We're here at Holland Family Chiropractic. They're located at 92 Main Avenue Drive in Taylorsville. Some of you will remember the building as the former location of Office Practice of Pharmacy. It's my pleasure to have the owner, Dr. Tyler Holland, with us here today. He's going to tell us all about the business here that he's opened in Alexander County. Now, Dr. Holland, you are a 2002 graduate of ACHS, and we're proud to have a hometown boy come back to his roots. So, and tell us a little bit more about your college and professional experience prior to coming here to Alexander County.
Okay. I graduated North Carolina State. My last year there, I had an injury and had never been to a chiropractor before. So I went to the chiropractor, was recommended to go to the one in Raleigh there, and he helped me out a lot. And so I did my internship with him, and he sent me to chiropractic school down in Georgia, the university called Life University. It's just a chiropractic college there. I graduated in 2011 there. I was the valedictorian there, so that was a blessing there. I learned a lot there, and then I did a internship down in Georgia for several months, and then I came back here to the Hickory area and worked in Hickory for over 2 years, a couple different offices over there, and then I got the opportunity to open up over here. I think that was my goal in the beginning. We did goals the first year of chiropractic school, and my goal was to be back in Taylorsville. This is where I'm from. I like the people here, and I want to help the people here get healthier through chiropractic care. So I got the opportunity here. The Lord blessed me with the chance to come back to my hometown, and so I opened up over here back in late January. And it's been great ever since. The county's really blessed me, supported me, and it's just getting better and better. So I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, we got some good people here, and we always love it when we have a hometown boy come back to his roots and support our local economy. And you've gotten your talents over the years and brought them back to use here in Alexander County. Right. We thank you for that, Tyler.
Thank you.
You seem like a great guy, and I'm sure folks would love to come out here and see what you have to offer. Now, as far as chiropractic, what are some of the benefits of chiropractic? I know some people don't really understand what it's all about and may have some misconceptions about chiropractic care.
Sure. A lot of the misconceptions are that chiropractic, I talk to people, well, I don't have any back pain, but when I do, I'll come see you. it's not just about back pain. Those are the main things that bring people in. But then when people get in, you get to explain to them the whole benefits of chiropractic. And that includes, the top benefits are, you're going to have decreased pain, you're going to have increased motion, range of motion, you're going to move better. And then some bonuses to that are you're going to have a healthier immune system, you're not going to get sick as much, you're going to sleep better, you're going to have better brain function because the brain connects to the body through the spinal cord, which is encased by the spine, and that's what we deal with. So we look for those misalignments in the spine that cause pressure on the nerves, and the nervous system doesn't function properly. So we just find those misalignments and we put them back into place. It's a gentle adjustment, but we put those back into place. That helps the nervous system to function at 100%, and it helps the whole body to function better. I work on the athletes at the high school and younger athletes too, and it helps them to perform at their best. A lot of the professional athletes utilize chiropractic care now.
Yeah, well, I guess I was under the misconception that it really is about the back, which I guess it starts with the back, sure, but it kind of spiderwebs out to the nerves and everything. So interesting talk there. So look forward to coming and seeing you. I hadn't utilized your services yet, but I'll be down here to visit you soon. Now, you talked about working on athletes at the high school, things of that nature. I believe you go all the way back to like newborns. Some of them may be out of alignment that early.
Absolutely. I checked Charlie when he was a day old.
Now, Charlie's your baby, right?
Charlie's my little boy, about 10 months old, and I checked him when he was a day old. The reason for that is if you consider the birth process, it's a pretty traumatic event for the mother and the baby, and so when they come out, we have to check them. They're being pushed and pulled and prodded and all that stuff. So we have to check them to make sure they don't have any misalignments. It's not the same type of an adjustment that an adult gets. It's very, very gentle. And you just more or less find the spot that's out. You kind of hold it in place until it goes back into place and relieves that pressure there. But they do great with it. Some of the things that kids get adjusted for, it's just whole body health, but also ear infections, allergies, stomach problems, digestive problems, things like that are some of the main things that we adjust the kids for.
So you're saying a chiropractic adjustment for a baby or a child can actually affect whether they get ear infections and things of that nature?
Absolutely. It's preventative care for things like that.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, a lot of parents deal with those issues, and because some of them are at the end of their rope. They're on medicines all the time, and maybe all they need to just come see you.
Absolutely. They a lot of times they've tried a lot of other things before they come here, and then they come and it usually works, and so they're thrilled with that.
Well, that's good. That's good. And then come see your friendly face down here and get a good alignment.
Absolutely.
Now, tell us a little bit more about what your prices are and what types of insurance you accept. What's the best option for your patients?
Sure. We do accept most insurances, and when that's the case, it's they usually just have a copay. A lot of times it says on their card what their copay for chiropractic is. And then if they don't have insurance, then we do a self-pay option. It's just a normal adjustment's $30. Sometimes the first visit's a little more. It's not going to be more than $50, but it's not always going to be $50 if we don't have to do all the testing and stuff. But patient that's never had chiropractic care in the past ever, and they're an adult, we usually do some testing, and in that case, it's usually about $50 for that first visit. But then any adjustment after that's $30.
Still very reasonable. Now, another possible misconception: people think chiropractors, well, if I go in, he's going to have me come back 3 times a week for 10 months or something like that or whatever. Right. How do you feel about that?
I have them come until I feel, each person is different. I have them come until I feel that they've reached the maximum benefit from chiropractic care. And then even after that, I recommend they come and get checked, on a regular basis because, like I said, it's not just about back pain. They think if they're better, then I don't need to come. But it's about whole body health and function at the best that your body can. And so that's why I recommend they come back. It's like going to the gym. You can't just go to the gym for a few months and then expect to be fit for the rest of your life. You have to maintain that once you get there. So.
Oh man, I thought you could. I wish you could.
That would be nice.
But it's, I guess like the gym, like you said. You might not want to go at first, but once you leave, you feel great.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Same thing here.
Same type of thing with chiropractic. Yes.
Okay. Now there are different types of chiropractors out there. Also, some use some type of a little I don't know what you call it. I kind of think of it like a gun or something.
Yeah, most people call it the clicker.
The clicker.
Yeah.
Some people, they're kind of rough with you. What's your style?
Right. I do a little bit of everything. I have the activator, which is the clicker you're talking about. I have a drop table, which is less forceful than just the manual adjustment that you're talking about. I do that also, but you can't do that on everybody. Not everybody can tolerate that type of an adjustment. So in that case, that's when we go to the drop table, which is less forceful. And then we'll use the activator, which looks like this. And you just set it to the frequency, and you hold your hand out for me, Gary. And you just click like that. That's what it feels like. It just moves the bone back into place where we want it. And it's not very forceful. So anybody can tolerate that.
Yeah, that didn't hurt.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Now, tell us more about your hours and how people can get in contact with you. I think your website is pretty informative. It tells people about yourself, which is drtylerhfc.com. And tell us your phone number and your hours. And I think you also take appointments.
Yeah. The phone number is 828-352-9151. And we do take appointments Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're here 9 to 1 and 3 to 6. Tuesday, we're here. I'm usually here on Tuesday mornings, but Tuesday's by appointment, and then Saturday's by appointment too. We do accept walk-ins. If we're not too busy and they don't mind waiting, we accept walk-ins also. So we just want everybody to get the care that they need.
Very good. And you're also on Facebook, I believe.
Yes. Yeah, Holland Family Chiro on Facebook. We're there too, and check us out. And you can find most of the information on there, the phone number and everything there too.
Okay, well, great. Tyler, it's been a pleasure meeting you today, and I'm going to come back and see you as a patient too. Okay? All right, thank you. All right, folks, you need to come out to Holland Family Chiropractic, 92 Main Avenue Drive, right here in Taylorsville. Buy local, Alexander County. To learn more about our Buy Local Alexander County campaign, visit the Alexander County EDC website, alexanderedc.org, or give me a call, 828-632-1378. Buy Local, Alexander County. Folks, you've heard all about the 68th Annual Alexander County Christmas Parade in this episode, but what's happening in the month of November? Well, let me tell you. Runners and walkers are invited to participate in Hickory Cove Bible Camp's second annual Race to the Cove 5K Trail Run and Walk fundraiser on Saturday, November 1st at 9 a.m. Following the awards ceremony at the lake, registered racers can enjoy popular camp activities free of charge like zip lining, canoeing, and of course hot dogs and s'mores over the campfire. For complete details, visit hickorycove.org/Race-to-the-Cove 5K or call 828-632-2987. If you like paintball, make plans now for Command Decision War Game Center's 2014 Fulda Gap Paintball event from November 7th through the 9th. This local event has been hailed as one of the must-attend paintball events in the entire country, folks. For more information, call 828-495-4155 or visit cdpaintball.com. The Hiddenite Center's Home for the Holidays Festival of Tables is designed to inspire guests with creative ideas for adding artistic decor to Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year celebrations. This unique holiday event will be held on Saturday, November the 8th at the Hiddenite Center's Educational Complex located at 70 Hiddenite Church Road. Festival of Tables guests will enjoy a delicious lunch of baked ham, coleslaw, green beans, and sweet potato casserole for dessert, while seated around decorated tables that reflect a variety of creative themes. Festivities will begin at 10:30 a.m. with an opportunity for guests to view all of the beautifully decorated tables. Lunch will then be served around 11:30. Attendees will also enjoy live Christmas music, decorating demonstrations, and a holiday gift shop. Cost for attending the Hiddenite Center's Holiday Festival of Tables is only $16 per person. Call 828-632-6966 to make your individual or group reservations. The Alexander County Garden Club meets monthly on the second Thursday of each month at 6:30 p.m. at the Cooperative Extension Center. This month's meeting will be November the 13th. From beginning to advanced gardeners, this club is for you. Visit alexandercountygardenclub.org or call 828-632-4451 for more information. It's time to run the rock, folks, during the Rocky Face 50K, set for Saturday, November the 15th at 8:30 a.m. at Rocky Face Mountain Recreational Area. The 50K course is very rocky and hilly as it climbs up Grindstone Trail, Hollow Rock Trail, and the new and brutal Stairway to Heaven Trail, which has almost 600 feet of climb in only a half mile. The 50K course is 5 loops around these difficult trails. It is a very beautiful and challenging course though. Special awards go to the top 3 overall males and females. All finishers will receive a custom finisher medal, and awards will be presented as you cross the finish line. There are no age group awards. The entry fee is only $25 if postmarked by November 5th, or $30 after that. If you want a race shirt, add an additional $10 to your entry fee. Send your registration form and check, made payable to Alexander County, to Rocky 50K, 621 Loudoun Road, Taylorsville, North Carolina, 28681. Sign up today at alexandercountync.gov/events/Rocky50 or call 828-632-9332. Dirk Myers II will be the DJ for a special dance event on Saturday, November 15th from 7 to 10 p.m. at the Hiddenite Center's Educational Complex. Participants will enjoy ballroom, line, and shag dancing for only $8 a person. Visit HiddeniteCenter.com or call 828-632-6966 for more information. The Piedmont Amateur Astronomy Club will hold another public stargazing at Rocky Face Park on Saturday, November the 15th, beginning at dark. This unique opportunity to view star clusters, nebulas, and galaxies is free and open to the public. For more information, call 828-632-1093. Make plans now to attend the Hiddenite Center Soup and Salad Luncheon on Tuesday, November 18th from 11:30 to 1:30 at the Educational Complex. Enjoy soup, salad, dessert, and a beverage for a reasonable price. Visit HiddeniteCenter.com or call 828-632-6966 for more information. Through November 27th, the public is invited to enjoy an art exhibit entitled Two Viewpoints at the Bethlehem branch of the Alexander County Library System. The exhibit features the paintings of Judy Ryder and Meredith Jansen. The Bethlehem branch is located at 45 Rink Dam Road. For more information, call 828-495-8753. Of course, Christmas is just around the corner. So don't forget that the Hiddenite Center's Lucas Mansion will be transformed into a Christmas wonderland again this year throughout the month of December. This year's theme is Real to Real, with special decorations based on classic Christmas movies. The big open house is set for December 4th, but the general public can enjoy the exhibit throughout December for the regular admission fee. Visit HiddeniteCenter.com or call 828-632-6966 to learn more about how you can take part in this special tradition. To keep up to date with what's happening in Alexander County, be sure to log on to visitalexandernc.com. There you'll find a lot of information about the county's many great attractions, as well as a complete calendar of events. You can even submit your own event. Also, folks, the Economic Development Corporation and the Taylorsville Times would like to thank everyone for their participation in the 2014 Alexander County Reader's Choice Awards. The results will be forthcoming in the newspaper and on our website, so stay tuned to learn more about your favorite businesses, just in time for the Christmas shopping season. And remember, buy local, Alexander County. We hope you've enjoyed this edition of Alexander County Now.